BBC's Ethiopia Media Guide, Continuing Misinformation, Oversight or Deliberate. An erroneous, outdated and grossly misleading article released by BBC World, supposedly giving a glimpse on the media landscape in Ethiopia and undeservedly titled Media Guide Ethiopia, is confusing media watchers in the country and abroad. To the surprise of many, on the supposed media guide BBC World, it seems to have taken no changes and corrections after the same issue was raised by African Renaissance Television in November 2022. And it continued to present exactly the same non-factual information as a guide to the Ethiopian media landscape with overt disregard to the truth and the real facts on the ground. Our correspondent Brooke Asseged has more to the story.
Even though the article links Media Guide by BBC Monitoring, an arm of BBC services that claim their multilingual teams to have an acute understanding of the media landscape in around 150 countries with a deep knowledge of local context and languages, the Ethiopian-linked article has repeatedly failed to offer any new insights. Worse still, it keeps presenting long-defunct and non-existent media as still operating in Ethiopia and omitting, knowingly or otherwise, hundreds of media establishments currently operational in Ethiopia in the alleged Media Guide. Interestingly, the BBC was in a row with billionaire Elon Musk about the former's Twitter account being labelled as government-funded media, where the BBC requested for nuance in the information provided. The Media Guide article published was giving ownership and labels the same way Musk's Twitter was treating them, in which they were protested. This can be seen with BBC stating Fana TV as private media, while labelling Radio Fana as founded by the ruling party, when in fact both are services provided by the same Fana Broadcasting Corporation. In addition, BBC Media Guide went out of any sensible assessment by going as far as labeling some media in Ethiopia as pro-government and opposition party organs, thereby acting as arbitrator of the Ethiopian media landscape. According to some commentators, such blatant disregard to the truth and the need to do proper research before making statements, especially in matters that can be very easily ascertained, may legitimately raise questions on the overall reliability of BBC, particularly reporting and about Ethiopia. Moreover, this sort of negligent reporting does not align with the organization's professed stature as a reliable source of information. To see clarifications on the issue, correspondents from Arts TV had contacted the BBC Media Group with regards to the published article and the outdated information, including the questionable media labeling, and requested for the information to be corrected. In response to our questions, the said media guide was updated, only changing the ownership of ESAT from opposition-owned to a private satellite TV and radio station. Unfortunately, no other changes and corrections were made in the article other than the minor update, leading some analysts to question if the flagrantly misleading media guide about Ethiopia was indeed inability to gather facts or a deliberate campaign of misinformation and a spread of fake news. Further to this inquiry, we will be open to relay any information the BBC may want to give us on the issue and share with them our audiences.